Hello and welcome back to another Legal Briefs. Today we are talking about Purdy lawyers, defamation lawsuits, and of course, impeachment part dos. Stay tuned, you will not be disappointed. So I was always taught to start with your strongest material, so here goes. We start, let's say it's a Zoom hearing, like all of us lawyers have been getting used to this last year, and let's just say that one of the lawyers might have had his kids playing with his filters before the hearing. Yes, this actually did happen.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
Oh, God, it cracks me up every time. I am not a cat, Your Honor. Only a lawyer would say that. I hope the lawyer was able to get his filter turned off, or he might have committed perjury. Life is so awesome. By the way, note that streaming of that video was punishable by up to 180 days in jail. Legal Briefs, ready to do jail time in order to entertain you. I'm not sure how to beat that, but here we go. Next, we have a lawsuit filed by voting machine manufacturer Smartmatic against Fox News and Rudy Giuliani. Apparently, Rudy and Fox suggested or alluded to Smartmatic being involved in a plot to steal the election, and the lawsuit, it's 300 pages, and I did not have time to read it because I am a practicing lawyer, but look at the first paragraph of the complaint. This makes me feel like I need to up my pleading game. Quote, "The earth is round, 2 + 2 = 4. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won the election. The election was not stolen, rigged, or fixed. These are facts. They are demonstrable." Close quote. Now, whatever you think about the election, that is a great opening paragraph to a complaint. Hats off to attorney Edward Whipper. So, defamation is a false statement made to a third party, known to be false, which causes the defamed party damage. If the statement is in writing, it's libel. If it's spoken, it's slander. So, I always used to remember the S in slander means spoken. I think Smartmatic has two main problems here with its lawsuit. The burden of proof is higher because the defendants are public figures and members of the press. Public figures and the press are protected against defamation lawsuits more than you and I because it's important that they are allowed to say controversial things without risk of being sued. So Smartmatic is going to have to prove what's called actual malice, meaning they will have to show that Rudy and the Fox News crew not only said false things, but they said them with the intent to harm the plaintiff. And that's the New York Times versus Sullivan case. And it's really hard to prove why someone said something unless you are somehow able to find a text message or an email which basically says, I'm going to teach those guys that, a lesson and something like a smoking gun, and those are usually pretty hard to find. The second issue is going to be damages because Smartmatic will have to prove it lost jobs or money because of the Fox News stories, and that is also going to be hard to prove. I can't imagine someone in a county office saying, yes, our county was going to use Smartmatic, but then we saw the Fox News story about Smartmatic and how they might have helped steal the election and decided to go in a different direction. I mean, that might happen, but it seems like a long shot to me. In any case, getting back to the big legal story of the week, we have another impeachment of Donald Trump taking place as we speak. What's at issue? No less than whether Donald Trump can run for president again in 2024 and join the large and illustrious group of presidents who lost the presidency, then ran again, and won the presidency back again. That list includes Grover Cleveland and that's it, just Grover Cleveland. In any case, the first day of the impeachment trial was actually focused on jurisdiction, and actually this is exactly how most trials begin. Even before a jury shows up and you start jury selection, you always begin with procedural and other motions first. So this is actually pretty in place with what a real trial would look like. And the question is whether Congress can even impeach the president if he's no longer president. Now, Congress voted that they can, and I think they got it wrong. Let's look at the language from the Constitution about what we're talking about, and it's Article 1, Section 3, Clause 7. Quote, judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy the office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to the law. So that's from the Constitution. So I look at this kind of language every day, and the argument is a simple one. It's of statutory interpretation, and it rests on the word and. Impeachment can only lead to, quote, removal from office and disqualification. Now, the drafters of the Constitution could have used the word or, which means you could remove the president or disqualify him, but they chose to use the word and, which ties the two together and must be included. So since Trump is no longer president, he can no longer be removed, which means there's no jurisdiction. That's my argument. I think Congress got it wrong, but it only took me 30 seconds to make it and not 3 hours. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It's good for the YouTube algorithm. And if you aren't interested in statutory interpretation, watch the cat video again and give me your best cat joke. And I'll leave you with the ending of my first video on impeachment, which I made right before Trump's first impeachment trial. Watch this and remember, I am always right. In conclusion, he will not be impeached and found guilty and kicked out of office. And afterwards, politics will go on as normal, but it'll be just a little bit meaner and nastier.